Okay, so here's task 8, coolant conductivity test for dissolved metals. We're going to be looking for how much metal is dissolved into the coolant. Um, so we're going to go ahead and again, like always, fill out the year, make, model, VIN number on the car. And then you're going to check for those dissolved metals that coolant contains and then determine what we need to do. The materials, again, we have our safety glasses, we have our DVOM, or our multimeter, as we refer to it, and then the vehicle will be assigned to you. Procedure, let's take a look at this. Always got your safety glasses on. We always check that radiator cap, make sure it's not hot before we start on this lab. And then what we're going to do is remove the radiator cap, and we're going to turn our multimeter on to DC scale, and we're going to set it to voltage. DC voltage. That's the V with a line over the top. Okay. We're going to take our negative lead right here, negative lead. That's our black lead, and connect that to the negative battery terminal or the terminal with the negative sign near the posts. And then we're going to take our positive lead, the red wire, and we're going to place that tip into the coolant. Okay. Now that can be in the radiator, that can be in the expansion tank. It just depends on what kind of car we have. But we're just going to go ahead and place it right into that solution. You need to make sure we don't touch the sides of the radiator neck because that's going to give us a false reading. And then we're going to test for the voltage present under these 5 conditions here. Now, here's your kind of reference here, what we're looking for. 0 volts to, 0 volts to 150 millivolts. That's what this is right here, 150 millivolts. So on the meter you'll see an M, lowercase m with a V. That stands for millivolts. That's fine. Anything between 150 millivolts to 400 millivolts is questionable. That's probably time to go ahead and change that out. And then anything 400 millivolts or more needs to be replaced. Okay, so we're going to go ahead right here with engine off, and we can write in what we find on our meter, and then write just pass or fail here. P for pass, F for fail. And if I give you a second car, you'll do the same thing here. Engine running. Real quick on this one. Again, I only want one person in the car with that engine running. There's never any more than one person in that vehicle. So there, go ahead and turn it on, and that's all clear. And we'll check and see if this voltage measurement changes at all. The third one, we're going to have the engine running with the lights on. The fourth one, engine running with lights and the AC on. And then the last one right here, engine running, lights on, AC on, with the engine running at 2000 RPM. And we're going to note all 5 of these right here. Okay. Then your recommendations, circle 1. Do we want to flush the coolant? That coolant's no good. Or is it no service required? And everything's wonderful, there's no need to do anything. And then explain why you chose that answer here on vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. And then after that, go ahead and write down any problems you may have encountered, and then bring it to me to get signed off. Okay, for task 8 of our cooling system labs, we're checking the conductivity of our coolant. And what you need to do is, the only tool you're going to need is a meter and a car. When you get this is going to be off like this. And what we're going to do is just turn this to volts with the line over the top. That's for DC volts. Wait till that turns on, and we're reading millivolts right now, and that's okay. Put this down, and what we're going to do is put one lead in the coolant reservoir. Now, you always want to make sure this is cool to the touch. If it's hot, we don't open it. If it's cool, go ahead and open that. Put the cap down. We're going to put one lead in the coolant, and we're going to put the other lead on a negative battery post here. I'm going to read how much we have. And right now we've got 208 millivolts. Actually 206 millivolts. It'll jump around. That's okay. I'm going to let this settle down a little bit. It will keep climbing down slowly. But when it stops moving, go ahead and just hit the hold button until it kind of stops moving here. See, it's getting slower and slower and slower. Keep checking and checking. And that should be good. Go ahead and hit the hold button. That'll lock it in place. And so right now we've got 192 millivolts roughly, and that's fine. I mean, it's not a good reading. It's kind of questionable. We should have under 150 millivolts, but we have 192. So you want to go ahead and note that. Whatever you find when you measure this, go ahead and write that in your lab packet. We're also going to again do this with the engine running with the lights on, engine running with the air conditioning and the lights on, and you're going to write down all 4 measurements, because they may be the same, they may change, but you need to do the measurement, with all 4 steps: engine off, engine running with lights on, and engine running with lights on and AC, and then note those 4 measurements you get.